Senator, let me kick this off with you. What's your take on what's going on right now? Is Trump not showing up tonight, is that going to be good for him, or do you think he loses in this?
I think it's probably not good for him. The more important question is, will it derail his efforts, and I doubt that.
So it won't be good for him, but it won't derail him either.
I don't think it will. Ted Cruz himself said, I think it was yesterday, that if Trump wins Iowa and then goes on to win New Hampshire, which appears likely, he'll be unstoppable. And on that, I think Senator Cruz may be right.
Wow. Governor, what do you think?
Well, obviously, Trump thinks it's good for him, or he wouldn't be doing it. I don't think this is about his feelings being hurt. I think he made the calculation. He's got more to lose by being in the debate than not being in the debate. But we'll see. If the polling is to be believed, he's got a solid lead in both of these states. I don't think anybody has got it in the bag. I don't think the idea that somebody's inevitable if they win both these debates is accurate, but he gets a mighty powerful momentum if he wins both of them. I
think that's a really good point. But let me ask you about what he said about you, Governor, because he was asked about you with George Stephanopoulos, and he said, look, Haley Barbour, he's an old-time politician. He's been up in my office looking for money many times, Trump says. He's an old-time politician who's losing his grip. Frankly, I haven't heard the name Haley Barbour ever mentioned in a year and a half, and the reason that me and Ted Cruz are in the lead is because of that. What do you think about this, Governor?
Well, he's certainly right that I'm old, but the fact is George Stephanopoulos the next day apologized for telling Donald Trump that I had said something about him that I didn't say. In fact, I hadn't said anything about him. I've only met the guy twice in my life. And one time he took me to the heavyweight championship fight in Atlantic City when I was RNC chairman back in the 90s. I've stayed out of this just like I did in 2008 and 2012 as a former National Party chairman. That's what I have tended to do, and I've done it again. I'm going to support the nominee of the party because I don't think our country can stand 4 more years of Obama's policies, and that's what we'll get if we elect Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to follow Reagan's 11th commandment. I was the political director of the White House under Ronald Reagan. That's what he preached and practiced, and that's what I try to practice.
Yeah, you're right. Stephanopoulos apologized because basically he was starting this thing between the two of you. You didn't even say anything. It was actually Henry Barbour, the former, your nephew, and a Republican strategist. Right. So he said it. He brings up your name as if you said it, and Trump lashes out at you for no reason. But Senator Mitchell, the idea that Bernie Sanders is in the lead in Iowa on the Dem side and Trump is in the lead on the Republican side, what does it say about our country right now?
I think there's a lot of frustration, anger. That happens whenever the economy turns down. The presidential campaigns provide an outlet for frustration that people feel, particularly those who aren't moving up in the new economy. We've figured out a way to encourage innovation. We have the technological revolution through which we're now passing will be seen in the future as important in human affairs as was the Industrial Revolution. But we haven't figured out how to replace the jobs that have been lost, what I call the working man, middle income jobs, factory worker who could support a wife and 2 children. And that frustration will continue for a long time, and it's finding expression now in the presidential campaign on both sides. But I think you're going to see a closely contested election in a general election. The country's pretty much divided. The parties will, I think, generally unite. You heard Haley say he'll support whoever the nominee is.
Right.
And in an interesting way, Trump as the nominee will help the Democrats unite, and Secretary Clinton as Democratic nominee will help the Republicans unite. So although history isn't much of a guide in this election, history tells us that you can have hotly contested nominating processes and still find the parties coming together.
Are you surprised Bernie Sanders is beating Hillary in Iowa?
No, I think that he's beating her in the polls, and as you see from the poll results, it's overwhelmingly among young people. The question still is whether they'll turn out to vote. But I think once you get past New Hampshire, he isn't in as favorable a territory as he is in these first 2 states.